Hi everyone, I have here the RS3M 2020, which everyone knows is a popular and very well performing puzzle, especially for its price. However, there are some reasons why you maybe don't want to get it. One is the horrendous out-of-the-box spring noise, which apparently is really common from what I've seen from the speed solving forum posts and other people's unboxings. It's really bad and you have to apply a whole bunch of core lube on the springs, which I've done here, and some people don't like to bother with that. I think this happens because the screw diameter is too big and the screw doesn't actually stay perfectly vertical. So the end of the spring actually ends up rubbing against the side of the screw head instead of the bottom. Okay, so this is kind of hard to see, but you can actually see the spring is not really centered, and the end of the spring is actually it's like touching the outside of the screw head. You can see it over here, and that's what causes this really bad spring noise, I think. Now, a more significant issue is the screw coming out on its own, which some other people on the speed solving forums have had as well. So I'm going to see if I can demonstrate this. So you can maybe see that as I'm turning this red face a bunch, the screw is already starting to turn by itself and it's slowly unscrewing itself. So after a whole lot of solves, eventually this whole red face will just fall off, and that's really annoying. Out of the many 3x3s that I own, I actually only had this happen to one other puzzle, and that was the MF3RS, which is also in the RS line. This is the RS3M 2020, and that was the first RS. So maybe there's an issue with production or something. So I thought the problem was maybe a stripped core, but I ordered a replacement core from the cubicle, and I still had the same exact problem. And because I don't really want this really annoying thing where the whole layer just falls off, I wasn't able to use the cube for like a week or two while I was waiting for the replacement core, which ended up not helping. So that's already a big downside for this cube. Okay, so here you might be able to see the edge of the spring getting caught on the screw head, and it's getting stuck, and then it just kind of moves over. So the first thing I'm going to try to fix is this spring noise problem, because the spring noise is pretty annoying to me. You can hear it's pretty loud. So my first idea was to just use a whole bunch of core lube underneath the springs, and that usually is enough to take care of the spring noise. But in this case, no matter how much core lube I put in, I can't get the spring noise to go away. So I'm gonna try something new, something I've never tried before. So this right here is the screw and spring, and it seems like there's a whole lot of friction when the spring is pushed up against the bottom of the screw head. So I'm gonna try to clean this off, and I'm gonna try see if I can sand down either the spring or the screw head. It's gonna be kind of difficult, but see if it works. So what I was using there was a nail file, and maybe the metal of the spring is harder than the nail file, so the file doesn't work. So I'm gonna try using this metal file on here and see if it does anything. Okay, so that sanding thing didn't really work, but I have another idea. I have here Angstrom Gravitas. I think that's the thicker one. And before I was using Traxxas 50K as core lube. This time I'm gonna try Gravitas to see if it helps. It's an interesting sort of gel, and it seems maybe a lot less runny than Traxxas 50K. I don't know. That just looks weird because normally I just put this stuff on the pieces. So I've never tried this as a core lube. Wow, that is really weird. What? Well, it seems to be better than before. A lot better than before. Yeah, that sounds better than before. I'm gonna try putting some more in. Stuff is messy. Wow, just a... But it seems to have helped a lot. So hopefully this will last a long time. I mean, there's still some spring noise, you can hear it. Okay, so for the other problem of the screw unscrewing by itself, I have a good solution, and that's this stuff over here. This is Teflon tape or plumber's tape. And if you don't have any of this stuff, you can just use like a grocery bag or something like that. But what I think you do is you just take just a little bit of this. It kind of looks like a grocery bag too. I think what the Teflon tape does is it fills in all the little gaps in this screw thread, so there's a lot more friction, and the screw has a lot harder time rotating on its own. And you wrap it around your screw threads. And that should prevent the screw from unscrewing itself. So there we go. The spring noise wasn't completely fixed, and I don't know if I have a way to really fix it, but I'm pretty sure this Teflon tape will make sure this screw never comes out again. So I'm gonna go and do some solves on this and see how it goes, but that should be the end of the video of my setup for the RS3M 2020. So I've done a bunch of solves with this cube, and I actually had to apply the Teflon tape to the yellow side as well, because the yellow side was loosening on its own. So, you know, for this cube, I really wanted to be able to recommend this cube, but it's just honestly more trouble than it's worth. I don't know if I got a defective version or something, but with the spring noise and the screws coming out, I just can't recommend this cube. So if you guys have any ideas of how I can improve this cube, let me know in the comments. But that's it for this video.